So my name is Professor Tim Cole. I'm in the Department of Biochemistry within the Biomedicine Discovery Institute. I have taught into a number of the biomedical science units through the undergraduate level, and I'm the convener of the BMS Honours program. So as I said, I've got just a number of slides really just to give you some background information on what is honours and the structure of the honours course, what are the assessments, and then some considerations on, we obviously think the key aspect of honours is choosing the right project for you to undertake as part of your research program, and then finally some information at the end on the enrolment process. And finally, I've also got some slides from our various local areas where you can undertake honours at our different campuses and schools. And as I said, this is really the start of your selection process. Most of these locations will be putting on their own honours information sessions, and some of them have already taken place. Some of you may have attended those already. I've got some information on those, but as you'll see, you'll really find all that information on our BMS Honours webpage, but also on the websites of the local departments, schools and institutes that take our students as placements. All right, so let's just look at some of the information and so you get an understanding of what you need to appreciate in undertaking honours in 2022. Right, so BMS Honours is essentially a research-focused year. As I said, you undertake a research project. You are attached to a research group across the Monash campuses. And as you'll see, we require that the supervisor in the project really is part of an affiliated part of Monash University, of our Monash campuses. And the research project really is the major focus of your energy and your work for the year. Operationally, in the way that we assess the honours year, the research project and the associated assessments make up 75% of your year. And then we have a coursework unit that contributes 25% of your final assessments and mark. This coursework does vary between in the different departments and schools. It's what we call a discipline-focused part of the honours year. And this is where you'll get individual skills and information related to the particular discipline where you are undertaking your research project. So overall, the honours year is aimed at understanding and being critical about scientific data and literature and communication of scientific information. These are generic skills and the types of so-called graduate attributes that we are trying to build into your armoury such that when you leave Monash with your degree, you can take these skills and attributes into a whole range of different professions, jobs, or other endeavours, and these might be additional courses. As I said, the research project is really a central part of the honours year. It's individual. You'll be involved in a original research project with a research group that is undertaking biomedical research in a whole range of disciplines. They may be disease focused, it may be designed to understand basic mechanisms, concepts and information on a particular topic. Therefore, the research project is individual and each student's experience in honours is very much unique. So why undertake BMS Honours? What will it enhance with my education going forward and into moving into a career beyond university? The honours year will further develop your personal and professional skills, and this will be around your in many ways around organisation, specific skill sets. We can break those down into technical analytical, critical skills around scientific literature, working with in a research group, and developing individual skills. And two key skills that we really want to further develop with an honours year are your written and your oral communication skills, and being able to, in a very clear, concise way, describe a research or a scientific area to an audience. This type of skill development will enhance job prospects manifold into a range of different vocations and areas. It will allow you to apply and undertake further research degrees into potentially masters or PhDs, and this will continue as focused research with original research outcomes and publications in the literature. The course will also enhance your chances of entry into other courses. And we know many biomedical science students are very keen to enter the large number of graduate medicine courses that are on offer in Australasia. And honours is an additional way that you can improve your WAM to gain entry into these graduate medicine programs. And finally, it will allow you to evaluate whether biomedical research, as I've said, the honours year is very much focused on original biomedical research, whether this is a career pathway for you into the future. And obviously, in the main direct pathway will be through doing a high degree following honours, such as a master's or a PhD. Right. So the course structure, how is it structured? It's structured in very much the way that all honours courses are structured. As I said, we have a research project component, and this is this is described here under the unit BMS 4100. So there are two academic operational units. There's a research project unit and a coursework unit. So BMS 4100 is the research project unit. It's a 36-point unit. As I said, it contributes 75% of your final honours mark, and it has three main assessment components, and I'll talk about those in a minute. The coursework component, BMS 4200, with the title of Advanced Studies in Biomedical Science, it's a 12-point unit contributing 25% of your final mark, and it's broken up into three components. So if we go back to the research project unit, in the research project unit, around your project area, as I said, which is very much original, we ask you to write a literature review summarising the previous information of your project, and this is a 4,000-word document. This is assessed by your local honours department or school and contributes 10% of this research project unit's final assessment. We ask you to give two seminars. The first seminar is a communication of your project, what you're planning to do, and this isn't formally assessed with a mark or a grade, but you receive feedback on your presentation skills, and this will then help you with a final seminar at the end of the year where you present your findings from your research project, and this will be marked by a group of assessors from your local area. And then finally, the big assessment is the writing of a large thesis or research report that has a maximum of approximately 15,000 words. So this is a large document, and it contributes 80% of the research work project unit, and obviously is the major task that you must complete at the end of the honours year. If we now look at the coursework component, BMS 4200, this is composed of three assessed units or three assessed components. The first one is what we call the discipline-specific component. This contributes 40% of the unit mark. It is operated and rolled out by your department or school, and is normally composed of two separate components. One is normally a written, and the other may be, again, another oral presentation, such as a journal club. As I said, this is assessed locally and contributes 40% of your coursework mark. And then finally, we have two, what we call common core components that the faculty will run. So all of the Biomedical Science Honours students will come together and undertake in semester one a series of biostatistics workshops that will provide you with biostatistics skills that you can then apply to your own research project later in the year. This is assessed by primarily by an assignment that contributes 30% of this coursework mark. And then finally, there's a common core written critique assessment, and this is where we provide you with a number of research papers and ask you to read and critically analyse these under a number of questions in essentially a sit-down exam format over 4 hours. And your responses are then assessed, and this contributes 30% of the coursework mark. So as you can see, you have 7 main assessments that then contribute to your final honours mark and grade at the end of the year. Both of these units are full year units, so we do not release any results during the mid-year break, and your final mark and grades will be released at the end of next year. Okay, qualifying into honours. There are really two main items, two main qualifications that you must complete at the end of this year. First of all, you must complete all the requirements for the award of your bachelor degree. So you must obviously have completed your 3-year Bachelor of Biomedical Science degree, which I'm sure all of you are well on the way to doing. And then finally, there is an academic bar that you must reach, and we require, because honours is academically demanding, we really set the bar that we will only take students who have reached a distinction average over a total of 24 points of their 3rd year biomedical science units. So this is essentially half of your 3rd year units. Each year is a 48 point for the year. So either your 2 common core units or 1 common core and 2 of your electives must average, have an average of 70% at a distinction, which most students find this. All right, so this slide just indicates really the 3 things that you need to consider around selection of a research project. And the process really is an agreement between yourself and a supervisor or a lab that are offering projects. So you need to contact research supervisors. You can do this at the various local honours information presentations that will be held over the next couple of months. Or obviously you can contact supervisors and groups directly. All the information on projects is available in project booklets. We have a general project booklet that lists all of the different general locations across the Monash campuses that are offering honours projects. And then it's up to you to really find a department, institute, or an area that you're interested in. Is it a particular disease? Is it a particular area? Is it immunology, neuroscience, aspect of cell biology, understanding basic mechanisms? Find some research groups, talk to the supervisor who's offering the project, and strike up a conversation, talk to them about undertaking their project. And if they agree, then you can take up that project and make an application. So three important facets with the research project. Is it interesting? Do you think you can make progress? Is it feasible? You'd obviously like to have some good data at the end of the year to write your thesis and to talk about in your final seminar presentation. Obviously, the supervisor, will you be able to get on with the supervisor, have a chat to them, find out who else is involved? We ask that there's always a second supervisor or co-supervisor in all projects. Obviously, we want to make sure the supervisors will be available for the year. What type of lab group is it? Is it small, large? Chat to some people within the group. Get an idea of the environment. Does the lab look happy? And as I said, talking to other students within research groups can give you this information. So as I said, the key thing from now on is to find a project. And once you've done that, you can then go ahead and make your application. So where can you undertake an honours project in the Biomedical Science Honours program? Well, really it's at any of our campuses across Melbourne. And obviously we've got our Clayton campus where you've really undertaken your 3-year BMS degree. And there's a number of local schools and institutes. So the BDI, the Biomedical Discovery Institute, Psychological Sciences, and ARMY. I've got some slides giving you more information about these in a minute. Then we have our Alfred campus in Paran at AMREP that contain the Central Clinical School and a range of institutes and the School of Public Health and Preventative Medicine. At Monash Medical Centre at Clayton, we have the School of Clinical Sciences and the Hudson Institute of Medical Research. Both of these locations offer projects. We have a number of more clinically focused schools and departments. The Department of General Practice at Notting Hill, not far from the Clayton campus. The School of Rural Health that's based at our Gippsland campus at Churchill, and the Eastern Health Clinical School based at the Box Hill Hospital. And as I said, I've got a number of slides that these local places have provided to us to show. So obviously when deciding on a project, as you can see, these locations are across Melbourne, and you just need to keep in mind the amount of travel you might need to do from your home to your location, and also in the context of coursework, the 2 common core coursework assessments, so the workshop, the Biostats workshops, and the written critique exam are held at either Clayton or at Paran, and those details will provide early next year, but there may be some travel involved depending on where you are. That's the key thing. All right, so once you've found a project and a supervisor, as I said, we recommend to do this, go to the individual department, school, institute information sessions that are being held from now for the next couple of months. Once you've found a supervisor and project, you need to do 3 things. The first one is to submit a local project form to the local honours coordinator so that they know that you have applied to undertake honours at their local site. Okay, and that they will have a local project form, and this information will be available at our central BDI Biomedical Science Honours webpage. So all of this information will be there. So provide a local project form. Then we need you to register your project application online in an online form that you can access through this webpage. Okay, so we need to know centrally that you've made an application. And then finally, the third important part of the application process is you need to make a formal e-admissions online application for entry into the course. We will then assess your application. If you make the criteria, the distinction average for 24 points, you've completed your course, you will then receive an offer to enrol in the course, normally in early to mid-December. The deadline for completing these 3 parts of the application process is the 12th of November. So you have plenty of time to essentially find a project. Honours starts in week 0, in orientation week, obviously of semester 1 next year. And this is next year, this is Monday the 21st of February. In week 0, there will be a number of combined orientation session for the entire course, and some local orientation sessions that you'll have to attend at your local, where your project is being held at your local department, school or institute. All right, so now I've just got a number of slides for the different areas that are offering projects. So first of all, at the Clayton campus in the Biomedical Discovery Institute, our 5 biomedical science departments. All of you certainly would have had undergraduate units led by people from within the departments. So the first one is the Department of Anatomy and Developmental Biology. The honours coordinator is Dr. Olga Panagiatopoulou, and anatomy offers a range of honours projects from research groups and academics in various topics. So these are listed here. I won't go through all of them, but from aspects of specific anatomy through to developmental biology, cancer, and understanding basic mechanisms in developing systems. So please contact Olga if you're interested in a project within anatomy. And I think they are having their orientation sessions, I think, quite soon. I can't see it's listed on here. All right, the next department is Biochemistry and Molecular Biology. A large number of laboratories are offering projects. So over 100 individual projects are offered in a range of different biomedicine discovery type projects or disease-focused projects. The 2 honours coordinators are Associate Professor Michelle Dunstone and Dr. Kylie Wagstaff, and they will be offering, or they'll be holding some information sessions, I think, in week 5 and week 7, and go to the honours website for details on those sessions. Most of obviously the sessions in the current environment will be held by Zoom online. Next department, the Department of Microbiology. The 2 honours coordinators are Professor John Boyce and Associate Professor Chris Greening. They have an honours session scheduled for September the 22nd, which will be online. So please look for that information. Contact John Boyce if you wish to attend, and they offer a diverse set of projects, obviously around understanding the virulence and function of microbial pathogens, immune responses, drug resistance, trying to develop and improve efficacy of antibiotics, etc. And certainly in the pandemic, that some of these projects have great relevance. The Department of Pharmacology, the honours coordinator is Associate Professor Barbara Kemp Harper, and Pharmacology, offer a range of projects under these main topics: cardiovascular research, respiratory research, drug delivery, pharmacology education, the actions of venoms and toxins, and drug discovery biology. And they'll be holding an information session on the 10th of September. So please contact Barb around that one. The Department of Physiology, they share the responsibility for honours convening across three of their academics, Dr. Sue Chai, Dr. Nick Price and Dr. Craig Harrison, and they'll be holding an information session, or actually 2 information sessions, on Thursday the 2nd and Friday the 3rd of September. So please attend those if you're interested in undertaking honours in physiology, and they have research interests in these topics shown here, from cognitive neuroscience, renal physiology, reproductive physiology, and exercise and sleep disorders. And then still at AMREP, we have the Australian Regenerative Medicine Institute, focused institute that studies stem cells and regenerative medicine. They'll be holding a Zoom information session on the 25th of August, next week, and they have key areas of research, obviously looking at developmental systems, aspects of regeneration, use of stem cells, and you can contact Dr. Jan Manet, who is the honours coordinator at ARMI. All right, and then moving away from the Clayton campus, so this is a slide about honours projects in the Department of Rural Health. The honours coordinator is Dr. David Reeser, who is based down at the Churchill campus in Gippsland, And David also helps to look after, there's David there waving at you, helps to look after the students also associated with Department of General Practice. And the Rural Health offer projects across a number of themes. They're listed here: improving regional clinical care, attracting health professionals to rural communities, training doctors and enhancing knowledge. So please contact David around rural health. Right, and then now we have honours projects are offered at the Eastern Clinical School, Eastern Health Clinical School, based at Box Hill Hospital. The honours coordinator is Associate Professor Giuliana Fuscaldo. The head of school is Professor Ian Davis, and they offer projects in a broad range of I guess, clinically focused research areas, from anaesthetics, cardiology, medicine, geriatrics. I'm just picking out a few topics here. So, so please contact Giuliana around the projects that that are offered at the Eastern Health Clinical School. Now moving to the Paran campus at the Alfred Hospital, the School of Public Health and Preventative Medicine. The honours coordinator is Associate Professor Joanne Ryan, and so they are the largest public health research, have the largest public health research program in the Asia Pacific region, and they'll offer projects in these broad topics listed here, from acute and critical care, forensic medicine, general practice, planetary health, and I'm guessing pandemics, and obviously aspects of epidemiology, which is very much in the news at the moment for obvious reasons. So please contact Joanne Ryan around projects at the School of Public Health. Still at the Alfred campus, we have the Central Clinical School. Oops, sorry, the slides have gone. At the Central Clinical School, we have they have three people sharing the honours coordination roles. We have Professor Christoph Hagemeyer, Associate Professor Margaret Hibbs, and Dr. Valija Djokobatis. And so please contact them around projects that are offered at the Central Clinical School. And these are spread across the Central Clinical School and a number of institutes, affiliated institutes in Paran at the Alfred campus, the Baker Heart and Disease Institute and the Burnett Institute. And these, we've got some topics here from human pathology, cardiovascular disease, neuroscience, diabetes, immunology, through to blood diseases and cancer. So a range of different areas that one can undertake an honours project. Now moving to Monash Medical Centre, the Hudson Institute of Medical Research is a big institute down there at the Monash Medical Centre, and the honours coordinator is Professor Mark Hedger. So please contact him. The Hudson have been holding, I think, their honours information sessions across a number of days this week, so you may have attended those already. And they have a number of key centres trying to understand and undertake research in reproductive health, cancer research, infection and immunity, endocrinology, metabolism, and in women's health and neonatal care at the Ritchie Centre. So please contact Mark about their projects. And then also at the Monash Medical Centre, the School of Clinical Sciences, with an emphasis on clinical studies and translation. The two coordinators there, their names aren't on this slide, but they are Dr. Paul King and Professor Amanda Thrift, and they have a large number of more clinically focused research groups that offer honours projects in, again, a broad range of topics: inflammatory disease, cancer, neuroscience, infection, cardiovascular, and clinical medicine and surgery. So please go to their website and have a look at the information and projects that that they have on offer. All right, so that was a very quick journey through the different locations where you can find and undertake a project next year in your honours year. Okay, so look, what we'll do now is just move to a Q&A session. A number of years ago, we used to do this on campus, and it made it a lot easier to talk to everyone. But we are getting much better at interacting by Zoom. So if you have a question, students, please use the raise hand button and I'll try and find you. You can ask a question in the chat. I might ask Shay if she could keep an eye on the chat for me, and then perhaps raise some questions if they come on board. And finally, all the information that you need that really covers what I've presented today is at our honours webpage under the Biomedicine Discovery Institute website. It will contain, again, the information on the application process, the closing dates, and the project booklets. And as I said, please go to the local department, school, and institute honours websites for further information on some of the local projects. And please contact the honours coordinators that I've mentioned today through this talk.